This episode was recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, days prior to the recent major ice storm. God bless Central Tennessee and all areas affected across the nation. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to iShowcase Music Podcast. We are in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is not a fake scenery behind me. This is downtown Nashville. We can look out and see Broadway and all the wonderful musicians and singers and all the new friends I've made here in Nashville. It's amazing. So I wanted to talk to you all today about AI and how it's just changing the music industry. And even for us professionals, you know, it is a helpful tool. It is crazy, but it can also make you feel a little inferior, a little. It's humbling because these AI voices are really, really good. They are really good, and I'm over here sitting there like, oh my gosh, I just got this track, and I didn't even spend hours and hours and hours, which is part of the fun and all of the fun in the studio, making that happen with a real singer. I'm on the fence about a couple things, but using it as a tool is pretty darn amazing. And I'm going to show you and talk to you about how to do so. What I've been doing personally is writing my music, writing my lyrics, and using Suno especially. I've been using Suno AI to demo my songs, just to give me some ideas. I go back in there, change the props. So the song is mine. I have a pro account, which is really cool about Suno. If you get a free account and you think you're writing these masterpieces, they own all the copyrights. They own all the publishing. If you have a pro account, which I think cost me $100 for the year, a pro account, then you own all the publishing. You own all the copyright, even to the fake voices, the fake solos, the fake arrangements, and you can release it on DistroKid, you can release it on TuneCore. I think there's prompts on there saying that, you used AI or whatever, but I haven't done that. I haven't published one song in AI, and I don't know if I'm going to ever. But like, not using AI on any level, whether it's ChatGPT, whether it's Gemini, Suno, or some of the other brands, is similar to saying you weren't going to use the internet in 1997. It's here. It's here to stay. It's progressing. It's getting stronger. It's getting smarter. And the best advice I can give is just to adapt. Make it happen one way or another. So what I've learned by uploading, I'll upload like my piano track, and then I'll upload all my lyrics, and then I'll say exactly with precision exactly what I want the horns to do, bass to do, drums to do, all the tracks. And then what's really cool about Pro is they'll let you export the stems. So I can export the stems to any song I just demoed, keep what I want, get rid of what I want. What I've found is when you export the stems, be very, very careful, because they can export in WAV, but they aren't accurate. There's some chop off, there's some glitches, so what I do is export it out, put it into Logic, and then I'll drop a new piano bass, drop a new bass place, drums if I need to, and it sounds fuller, and it sounds great when you master it with Ozone. I guess we're up to Ozone 11 now with Native Instruments. So that's what I've been doing. I've been, once again, putting in my piano lines and my full songs, putting in my lyrics, saying I want an R&B male vocalist to sing this, and I want background vocals, or I want this to be a gospel style blues, they'll give me the style that I put in. However, I usually keep it true to what I wrote. So I've done this on a couple of occasions. Once again, have not officially published anything, because what I'm going to do on my album is go back, redo the vocals, redo, like I said, the bass, the keyboards, the organ sounds, the strings, whatever I need to do. A couple snippets here and there of some really cool guitar sounds. I think out of everything on Suno, I'm thinking the vocals are pretty intense. They're pretty good. I've been impressed, and I've been like, well, wait a second, that sounds like somebody, but who does it sound like? So you can't exactly pinpoint it, but I do know that they use some of the same voices on some of the same songs. I think right now we're at like 2 or 3 hit songs, AI songs on the charts, which the charts are being, open-armed with it all. They're understanding and embracing. I think, don't correct me if I'm wrong, I think Warner Brothers is working with Suno, and I think Universal Music Group bought out one of the other AIs. So I think the music industry knows it's here to stay, but it's all about how you adapt to it, and what you make of it. You can't be scared of it, especially if you're a singer, because the funny thing about the AI vocals is the fact that it does give some soul, but it's soulless. I'll say that again. It gives some soul when it's singing, but there are imperfections, and it's really tough. You have to have a trained ear to know if it's not human or not, and sometimes that even a trained ear gets fooled. So let's go through the process again. Put your song in there. Get the pro, first of all, to maintain your copyrights and your publishing. Get the pro account if you're using Suno. Put your guitar riff in there, your guitar, the whole song on guitar, the whole song on piano, the entire song. Put the entire lyrics in there, typed out. Tell them the exact vocal you want. Tell them the style you want the song to be and what your intention was from the beginning, and let it rip. Then you can go to, I think version 5.0, 5.3 or something like that. It'll master. So you can master it. It'll give you the best sound ever, and it'll also give you 2 to 3 different renditions of that arrangement of your original song. So what I'm finding out as a producer is music I wrote back in 2016, 2017 that with iShowcase TV and everything else going on, I haven't been able to get to in 10 years. I'm able to turn and burn and boom, and maybe get some sync licensing and get some, publishing going on. And I'm not, sales are pretty much dead, but some streams are always wonderful, and Spotify and all that good stuff. So I'm anxious to see where we're going to be in a year from now. A lot of things are changing business-wise. But Suno, you're still, according to Suno's bylaws and terms and agreements, you're still liable, so don't get crazy. People can still come after you and say, well, that's my voice. Well, that's really hard to prove, unless it's Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift or somebody, directly that you're using. There are some songs that could sound similar to others, but if you write your own music and you put it in there and you just want some ideas, you just want to get some really cool ideas, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think it's actually really, really cool. Now, how does that work with, in Nashville especially, there's so many songwriting committees, songwriters nights at Bluebird, Fox and Lock, and all these awesome places. How does that embrace AI? I think it trains AI. I think the more we put into it, the more input it gets, the smarter it gets, and the better the recordings become. So it's an interesting time we live in the music industry. As a producer, I'm loving it. As a songwriter and artist, as an artist, it pisses me off because these vocals are better than anything I can record. But I'm going to still try because I still have this soul, and try to pull off a couple really cool things. But as far as background vocals and stuff, if I don't have I think it's 2:30 in the morning, I'm going to call up a background vocalist to come record. That's a little creepy, right? So to get AI background vocals and to just blend them in to where you can never tell. You can never tell. I don't know how much you all have played around with it, but I'm telling you, you're in store. If you start messing around with it, it can get kind of addictive. On the video side of things, I've been using Sora just to be funny with DJ Crazy Scott, which is my DJ name. And I get more likes and more views than I've ever gotten in my life, just from being stupid and being funny and using my imagination. Well, I'm not putting my face on that and giving them permission to... Shut up. Don't nobody know you. Who cares if your face is on there or not? I mean, I understand privacy. Respect. I understand that. But I don't care. Use my face. If it's going to make people laugh and make them feel good about themselves, go for it. Musically, if I can enhance and get even better than where I started, go for it. But don't abuse it, Don't think, here's my key issue to end this podcast and this episode. Are you ready? Don't think you're a true musician and true songwriter just because you know the software and just because you use Suno. You are not. You are not. I don't know. I'm anxious to see if they're going to start giving away AI Grammys for best AI production. I very much doubt it. But please don't go there. Don't think you're all that and that you're a producer or a real songwriter. We've put years and decades in our life's work into writing songs, writing lyrics, writing arrangements, producing those arrangements, mixing those arrangements. So there is still a much better quality coming out of the studios. That's not going to change. Okay, let me give you an example. When I was DJing, well, I've been DJing for 30 plus years, and the iPod, iPod, the iPod came out. And everybody was like, oh, DJs are done. They're done forever. It's over. And I said to myself, wow, damn, I might be retiring early because they might have a point. Nope. The iPod only allowed people to play their playlists, but on a live event, there are so many people that made the mistake of becoming what I call iPod DJs. So they would go there plugging their iPod, and it was the most horrible party ever because you lost the human factor, the humanization of it. You lost the character, the personality, the being the glue to bring it all together, and boom, boom, boom. There's so much psychology behind that, right? So my point is this: as you can see, the sun's going down. That's wild. Wow, we're getting a sunset in Nashville while I'm talking. That's amazing. There's so much psychology with this, as far as the iPod did not wreck DJs. It only made us stronger. It made our lives easier. Serato and being able to do those playlists and iTunes and being able to be a lot more assertive. I mean, I started off on cassettes actually and beat mixing on 12-inch and vinyl and all that great stuff. AI with these vocals and these arrangements and these musicians and it's pretty cool. It's really cool, but it's not going to end, and I don't think it's going to ruin the true musician, the true recording artist, the true vocalist. I think the big TV shows did more harm to the music industry than AI will ever do, as far as oversaturating the industry. You can get oversaturated. There's too much music. I think there's like 1 million songs that go out per day. What do you make? 0.002% of a penny per stream. You get 1 billion streams. I think Snoop Dogg, and don't quote me on the stats, but like Snoop got 1 billion streams and made $45,000, and he was like, "What's going on?" 2 weeks later, he ended up buying Death Row Records back and getting his life back with that. Quote me on, or do some research on that before you quote me on that. But I mean, I know the story is similar. You can get so many streams and not make a lot of money. We're not in this for the money. I mean, it's great. A hit song's a hit song. I think ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, great organizations. I still get confused as to how they calculate the royalties. I get confused. I always have. But they seem to do a good job, and they seem to be very supportive of the music industry, and they have so much power with bars and nightclubs and making sure they go out there, and these people are paying the licensing to play this music that are paying for the licensing to be able to play the music that's entertaining all their guests, whether it's during dinner, whether it's during even Muzak and or it used to be called Muzak, I think it's called Mood now, atmosphere music. Everybody should be getting paid if their music is being played and being heard and entertaining others. And I'm an advocate for that for sure. The sun is going down in Nashville, Tennessee. This is starting to become my second home, and I like it. Scott Messina checking in with each and every one of you. Not many big interviews, ready to go and produce this week. I'm more like, really? To be honest, I brought the wife. I brought Ask Tammy. You can check out that podcast too. I brought Tammy with me to see if we would really like becoming locals here in Nashville, to make this our second home. We reside in Florida right now. We love it. And there's something about Nashville. There's something that digs at me. Like in the 90s, I came down here in 1993 or 94, and it was like really country. If I'd have just had foresight, if I could have just had a crystal ball and told the future of exactly what this would be in 2026, and a lot of these people on Broadway did exactly that. I got to tell you, the hospitality, the kindness of the people, the bartenders. I mean, you could tell some of the bartenders, don't want to be there. But that's anywhere in the country. That's Miami, Orlando, that's wherever. But mostly everyone is just as sweet as can be, happy and living their best life. The musicians, I don't think they're getting paid. I don't think they get paid at all. I talked about this last year when I was in Nashville. I don't think they get paid very much, and then they're shaking all the tourists down for. I saw $500, 5 different bands, $100 to play "Freebird" by Leonard Skinner, and I'm like, if I heard that, I love that song. Don't get me wrong. It's absolute a musical masterpiece, and $100 and I'll play what? But if you take into consideration that they're really not getting paid, that I guess it's not much. $20 per song request. Now, the cool thing is the QR codes and the Venmos and the, hey, just Venmo me, boom. And that's a brilliant way. I think most of the places I'm thinking would give probably minimum, and then on top of that, you get your tips. But I'm thinking to myself, that's no different than waiting tables or bartending. I remember back when Tammy and I worked at Ruby Tuesdays, we were making, what, $3 an hour? $4 an hour. I was aging myself, plus tips. But by the time you got the tips, then you were making, pretty decent money. And I think the only reason, that was my only job I've ever had. The only reason I was there is to meet her, the love of my life, my soulmate. Anyway, love you, hon. And so the musicians are like on that level, and I think that there's some musicians, every year I come back here, or every couple months I come back, I see a lot of the same musicians at all the different bars, hopping bars, going band to band and doing their thing. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Staying on that grind. We'll have enough time to sleep when we're all dead, right? They're on that grind. I don't know how many of them are actually trying to, be noticed and get that rock star. I think they do it for the love of what they do. If you become a rock star, great. Garth Brooks started off at Bluebird Cafe. My friend Amy Curlin started that in 1983. One of my favorite venues. I think one of my 2 favorite songwriting and open mic night venues is obviously the Bluebird Cafe, and now Leaper's Fork, Fox and Lock, right on the strip in Leaper's Fork. Oh, it's so much fun going there and just seeing these talented people who some of them don't even realize how talented they really are. So I like going there as a producer just to listen, just to take a picture of all the names on there, follow their careers, follow their tours. You have somebody in a full tour getting ready to go out, but you'll have somebody on the microphone performing for the first time ever. That to me is absolutely amazing. So Leaper's Fork, Fox and Lock, definitely check it out. Bluebird Cafe, obviously over by Vanderbilt. Beautiful. Been around forever. So many superstars, like I mentioned, Garth Brooks, Taylor Swift. Tim McGraw, I think. Anybody who's anybody pretty much came out of there or came through there. And then the Leaper's Fork side of things, you have the Chris Stapletons, I hear, I don't know, there's a bunch of celebrities over there. I was told today by a realtor friend of mine, Jen, she said, You have to, in their bylaws, there are so many celebrities that live in Leaper's Fork. You have to be voted in to be able to move there and live there as a resident. Justin Timberlake, Carrie Underwood. Justin actually sold his property, and I guess he's out west right now. But it's fun. I mean, because I'm in real estate also, and it's fun to sit back and kind of get butterflies again at this age and be like, man, if I start over, I mean, I can work wherever in the world, right from my studio in Florida, but to really find a second home, to really, look for some real estate and to start taking it really serious and say, hey, it'd be cool to have a second place. Well, why not do it in Music City? Let's go. Bridgestone Arena's getting ready to, for local Nashville people and people who know Nashville well, Bridgestone is the main arena where the Predators play, where all CMAs are always every year. And they, at Bridgestone, are getting ready to do renovations. I heard 75,000 square feet, and it's supposed to be the largest rooftop bar in Nashville, which would make sense. Because I was here on 4th of July, and the fireworks are absolutely insane. The people are insane, but they were orderly. Everything was just, regular drunk people and, stuff like that. But that's anywhere. Once again, that's anywhere. The fireworks off of a rooftop bar, that's where you want to be. New Year's Eve, 4th of July. I got to give a shout out to Posties. Post Malone. Post Malone has one of the sharpest, cleanest, and he has the newest bar on Broadway. He took over this nice little pizza joint, I forgot what it was called, right next door to the Johnny Cash Museum. He took that over, and then he took over, I forgot what it was, but this huge space right on that corner, so he pretty much encompasses that whole corner. The bands are great, the LED screens, what they've done in there technically, if you're a techie like me, unbelievable. They're doing the 1.9s, they're doing it's just sharp, it's focused, it looks like a performance. The only bad thing is that their lighting grid on the ceiling is a Dallas Cowboy star, and I'm not necessarily a Dallas Cowboy fan like Post Malone is, but I'll give them that. They did a good job. They did a really good job. They had a hell of a grand opening. Go on YouTube, you can check it out. Every star and their mother showed up. Luke Bryan's doing his thing. Kid Rock, always consistent. You go into Kid Rock's place, oh my gosh, it's just total energy. The bands are just doing what they're doing. They're rocking, and I love going up Broadway. Love to go to Hank Williams. I got this Hank Williams Jr. bar. I got this. It's almost becoming a fetish. Sounds weird, but true. I collect cups. So when I go there was a lady there about a year ago. Her name was Big Ange, and she showed me her arm, and it was tattooed. And everybody who works there, anybody who went there, they knew Big Ange. She wasn't even that big, but I just thought it was funny. That's what she liked her nickname to be. And I said, I love these cups. They're just plastic cups with Hank Williams Jr.'s face on the damn cup. She was kind enough to give me 10 at the time. She just gave me a stack. She was like, there you go. Every time I come back to Nashville, everybody laughs at me. I go into Hank Williams. Ask the bartender, this is what Big Ange used to do. Can you do it for me? I got some more Hank Williams cups. Because when I take them back to Florida, you hear all that? I don't know if you can hear that in the background. There's something going on. When you go back to Florida, you take them back there, and people drink out of them and throw them away. It pisses me off. So I got to keep replenishing them. Anyway, so the Hank Williams bar, some of the best bands there. But I got to say, this trip, and every trip I evaluate Broadway and what's going on, Tootsie's stole the show. All three levels. Tootsie's, when you walk in, they're playing the old country, the old traditional. Man, gives you goosebumps. You walk up there, the bartender, right when you walk in, giving you a menu. What can I get you? Who does that? They're on top of their game. Then you walk up the stairs, and you have a second bar with a band. The band was killing it. I think that's where we hung out most of all. Was on the second level of Tootsie's. And a guy named Steve Miller, I learned, guy named Steve Miller saved Tootsie's. I think they were getting ready to go under, and he either bought the whole building or just bought the business. I'm like, you can't let legendary. There's too much money in Nashville to let legendary places like Tootsie's go under. You're crazy. That is legendary. So, because I saw this neon sign that said, "Thank you, Steve Miller, for keeping Tootsie's alive," and I was touched by that. Then you go up to the rooftop bar, and another band. These fiddle players are just killing it, crushing it, whether they're playing covers or not. I would like to see, and from being from a tourist town myself, and I get it, people like to hear what they know. But I really would like to see more original music taking place on Broadway. I mean, once again, if I have to hear Freebird one more time, God help me. But see, I'm coming as a DJ also on this because I've been listening to these songs for 30 years. Play that funky music, Brick House. And it's not all country in all the places. They've really adapted to the tourists, right? So they're playing everything. They're playing pop, they're playing rock, they're playing funk. They're getting people dancing, and then they'll go right back into Charlie Daniels. And then they'll go hard with Family Traditions from Hank. And they'll go into Garth. And I love the eclectic. I think what's most impressive to me as a musician is the fact that you can request anything, pay them 20, pay them 100, whatever you're going to pay them. And I never saw a band get stumped. As a DJ, if you don't have Wi-Fi, you're like, oh, I don't have that. I don't have that on me. Or I can't get it because, I can't tether. I don't have a signal. I did not see one band get stumped this entire week. That, my friend, is impressive. And I think what they do, and there were about 3 bands that went for it that didn't know the songs. They were like, I think one of the songs were Footloose, Kenny Rogers' Footloose from the movie. Footloose, Footloose. And I remember the singer saying, I've only sang this in my car once. And all of a sudden I see everybody has on their mic stands their iPhones or an iPad. I saw it mostly iPhones. And I see everybody, whether it's the chord progressions, obviously it's the lyrics, obviously it's and then they start to go for it, and it's flawless. So what does that accredit? That accredits pure musicianship. These are pros. Some of these guys just get off the road with whether it's Travis Tritt, Luke Bryan, whoever, and then, oh man, we don't have a gig for the next 6 weeks. We might as well go kick Broadway. Play for beers and $50. Let's go. Because you know what it does? It keeps your chops up. These are the people that love their instruments. These are the people that aren't about it and aren't in it for just the money. They're going to make their money because they're doing what they love. So for you young musicians out there and young producers, do what you love and you will become successful. The second you're doing it and putting yourself in a compromised position because, oh my God, I got to have a hit song or else I'm not going to survive. No, go wait tables then. Go wait tables and let the music flow and let the timing of that music flow. Let your art flow. Show the love. Never give up. Never give up. No, no, no. That video is so funny. That me, my God. Never give up. No, no, no. Seriously, don't give up. Keep rocking. Keep writing. Keep singing. Keep loving. Scott Messina signing out. iShowcase Music, live from Nashville, Tennessee. We're doing what we do. The sun is now officially down behind me, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. Tune back in for the next episode.